So next up, I'm delighted to introduce Nozzle. Nozzle is a team that I've had the pleasure of knowing since the very early stages, in the beginning of its story, in fact. And in fact, when the days when the idea of a spin-out was just a twinkle in the eye of Professor Jin Wang from UCL's Computer Science Department. So in the following video, we're going to hear from Executive Chairman Victor Malachard, and then he'll join me afterwards on stage with CEO of Nozzle, Rael Cline.
So Nozzle's a spin-out, a very proud spin-out of UCL's Computer Science Department. We're made up of data engineers, data scientists, and Amazon experts. We're about 15 people right now, but looking to double the size of the team by the end of the year. We're VC backed, having raised circa 4 million to date. Pre-pandemic, we were based in Clerkenwell, London. Like many of us, we've been working from home for the last 12 months, but we're very much looking forward to reopening the office in short order, fingers crossed. What we look for in candidates is strong numeracy, but perhaps more importantly, character traits such as curiosity and perseverance. So we are hiring, and if you have those attributes and want to be part of a very fast-growing startup in a super hot space, then please do get in touch. Nozzle's an Amazon optimization platform, and so we address a number of challenges that the 6 million plus sellers on Amazon face every day. Perhaps they're best summarized as 1, sales growth. How do I grow my sales on Amazon? 2, share of category. How do I make sure that I'm growing faster than my competitors? 3 is a return on ad spend. So how do I optimize my media spend to ensure I'm getting the best returns and best bang for my buck? And 4, what's my customer lifetime value? Now that's a very important metric because ultimately it helps determine the cost at which these sellers can acquire a customer. Simply put, the Nozzle solution is a technology platform that is plugged into Amazon's API infrastructure and accesses all the raw data that Amazon makes available to its vendors and indeed the sellers on the various marketplaces. It's the fusion of these disparate but very rich and granular data sets that enables the Nozzle platform to provide the invaluable insights and the growth optimization that it does to our customers. To provide some context, whilst Amazon invests heavily in consumer-facing tools and technology to make sure that the experience of buying on Amazon is second to none, the tools they make available to sellers on Amazon are very basic. And here their strategy is to open up the APIs and let others do the work. This is where the Nozzle platform comes in. So we spent the first 12 months designing and building a platform that can ingest, store, and process the terabytes of data that's made available from Amazon's APIs. And then we developed some self-serve products and tools that sit on top of the platform and make use of all this data. So the first one is an audit tool that analyzes in seconds the performance of a seller's or a vendor's ad campaigns, identifying wasted ad spend and missed revenue opportunities. And the tool, I think, has audited 1,600 plus Amazon marketplaces already. We then have our analytics tool that presents a client's retail and media data in one dashboard, so showing sales, repeat purchase, market basket analysis, deals analysis, geo hotspot analysis. Where it's unique is in being able to provide really valuable metrics that neither Amazon or other third-party software providers provide, such as customer lifetime value and cost of acquisition. And then finally, we offer a managed campaign optimization and reporting service. So using both the audit and the analytics to define the appropriate KPIs for a customer. We've developed a kind of proven playbook that continually optimizes towards product sales, profitability, and improving returns on ad spend. So that's what we've built so far. the 12-month goal for the business is achieving what we call Series A readiness. And so the whole team have signed up to some metrics that I've had validated by Series A investors. And everything we're doing, both at a functional level and at individual level, is geared towards hitting those targets. From a tech roadmap perspective, there's a whole bunch of stuff that we're working on. So the immediate priority is making the tools more intuitive and the insights more easily actionable. Then we're, whilst we're very focused on, exclusively focused on Amazon right now, and our goal is very clearly to be the number one analytics and optimization platform for sellers on Amazon. There is demand to be including other marketplaces, and so we are looking at Walmart and other such marketplaces as well down the line. And then many of our customers also have strong D2C offerings, and so there is demand also to integrate that with that D2C data so that we can provide a more holistic view. And so an integration with Shopify is on the cards as well.
Great. Hi, Victor. Hi, Rael. Great to have you on screen.
Hi, Marina.
Thanks for having us.
Welcome. Thanks for that video. That was really interesting. But now I'd like to ask Rael actually to help bring to life some of these aspects regarding your Amazon sellers. So a couple of questions there. One is obviously Amazon's a global marketplace. Can you tell us a bit about the global reach of your services, whether you have to differentiate between countries and sellers? And the other is hopefully you can give us a bit of insight into one of your customers that's been really wowed by the benefits that having the Nozzle insights and analytics has given them.
Yeah, absolutely. So firstly, we operate absolutely globally. So Amazon's APIs are global. So anywhere that you can buy goods on Amazon, so key parts of Europe, there's obviously North America, even South America, and parts of Asia. They operate in, there's probably about 14, 15 markets at least. And the APIs are global, so we operate absolutely in every single one of those markets. They're opening up, I think Poland, it was sort of 2 months ago. Sweden was late last year as well. So they're opening at a rapid rate. And as I say, APIs are global, so we're absolutely global. In terms of just bringing to life what we do, I think a really good example of this is a over-the-counter medicine brand based in the US, FDA approved. And really the key thing for them is they knew inherently in their products that there's a high repeat purchase rate. But actually understanding how that can change the economics of your business and win on Amazon was a huge gap for them. And so we engaged with them with the tool that unlocks what in the video Victor called the customer lifetime value. Now, this is something that is pretty familiar for people who've built SaaS businesses and even e-com brands that are selling on, say, Shopify or D2C. But in the Amazon world, it doesn't exist. Other tools don't provide it. Amazon doesn't provide it. And this is what is the profitability of your customers, each on an individual customer level. And therefore, the flip side is understanding how much I can spend to acquire a new customer. And it turns out, as he correctly guessed, very, very high repeat purchase rates, very loyal customers. And what he thought he could actually spend to acquire a new customer on Amazon, he could actually spend more than double and still break even on their first purchase. So, I mean, this is kind of unheard of economics, I guess, in the D2C world or things like that. But it's such a unknown territory right now that he could spend double and still break even on the first purchase because these metrics don't exist. And so we worked with him figuring out which products to focus on, which ones to ramp up and be more aggressive, trying to get market share, et cetera, et cetera. And he just shy of doubled his sales last year as well, and off the back of that has raised additional financing, etc., to grow his business. So just understanding the very big growth levers through their process is what Nozzle's about.
That's really amazing. Great example there. The other thing I wanted to ask you about, Rael, is obviously in this past year of COVID, we all know that online retail has done really well. Is it naive to assume that because you're an Amazon seller, you will automatically have done exceptionally well during this last year? What can your insights into the Amazon data tell us about that?
Yeah, I mean, clearly there's a skew towards certain categories. I mean, if you're selling travel things on Amazon, you had a terrible year. But certain categories have had too much of a good year. They literally could not keep up with the demands and couldn't get their inventory into an Amazon warehouse even. But also off the back of that, there are a few second order effects there, which is clearly there's a lot more competition. So everyone in your category, everyone in your category is benefiting from this. And there are a lot more new entrants as well coming in. So there's a lot more competition. And off the back of that, I think almost a validation of the space is there's a new, phenomenon, which is what's called a sort of aggregator. So there's a lot of, let's say, private equity money that goes and buys a lot of these smaller businesses to roll them up and scale them. And so these are very well capitalized businesses at the end of the day that you're now having to compete against. And so, yes, demand has gone up, but it doesn't mean the distribution of that demand remains the same as it was pre-COVID. And so you really need to get smart around what products to focus on, what customer acquisition strategies. So it's a lot more competitive, probably outstripping the increase in demand as well.
Definitely something that Nozzle products can help with from the sound of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I forgot to say as well, the cost per clicks, which is the main currency in advertising for customer acquisition, similar to Google in that sense, they've obviously increased massively as well because of increased competition. Everyone's got, kind of limited ways in which they can acquire customers. And when you see the cost per clicks increasing steadily throughout last year, so certainly more expensive to acquire new customers.
Great. Okay. Victor, a question for you. You mentioned that you're preparing for Series A readiness. What does that mean? What are you going to be achieving this year?
Yeah, so that's the 12-month objective for the company. And like I said on the video, the entire team has kind of bought into what that means and is working towards that. So how do we interpret Series A readiness? Series A investors are really looking for product market fit in a sizable market. And so fortunately, when we talk to investors, we don't need to spend too much time on the market. It's very clear how big e-commerce it's going to be, and it's very clear the importance that marketplaces such as Amazon are going to play within that. So product market fit's best illustrated by number of customers, length of contracts, churn, and so we're very focused on those metrics, and we've been getting to 100 sticky recurring revenue. 100 customers generating sticky recurring revenue is kind of gets us where we need to be for Series A readiness.
Great. Okay, I think we're out of time now, so it's been a real pleasure to have you on. As you know, I'm really proud of what you guys have achieved with, I guess, is the UCL raw material several years ago,
Indeed.
turning this into a great product, and I'm sure you're going to achieve those objectives for a great Series A later this year. Thanks, Rael. Thanks, Victor.
Thank you. Thanks, Marina. Thanks.